Kind of Funny Live 2 is happening May 28th and 29th. It's a 2-day event. The first day is going to be a completely ridiculous stage show. What we have planned this year completely blows last year out of the water. And I don't even know how that's possible because we were really stupid last year, and this year's somehow even stupider. Day 2, it's going to be full day of meet and greets. We're hanging out with all of us. A bunch of Rooster Teeth people are there. Funhouse people are there. Achievement Hunter. It's going to be a grand old time. There's going to be some games to play. There's going to be signings. It's exciting. It's a really fun time. There's going to be exclusive merch. Oh yeah, there's definitely going to be exclusive merch. Go to kindoffunny.com/tickets to get your tickets today. There's a couple VIP tickets still available, so make sure if you want one of those, you act fast.
My topic.
Yes, sir.
I'm single again. I don't know how do you do this now? I haven't been single in a long time. What did you say? Christine and I broke up.
It's kind of
a couple weeks ago. Totally mutual. Everything's fine. Don't be mean to her, of course. But it's a boring adult breakup like all ours are. We're living two separate lives. But here I am, 33, an 11-year-old wiener dog on my own. I have not been out in quite some time. I don't know what life is like anymore.
Well, my first question to you is, do you feel like dating?
Not yet. No.
So, I mean, you don't have to necessarily worry about this. I think you're a dynamic enough person. You meet enough people that it will probably take care of itself.
Now, you say that, of course. I see the same 4 guys every day. That was the big thing. When granted, if you want to really look at my timeline here of adulthood, right? I was single very briefly after my marriage failed, right? But then met Christine. And then we took a year off at one point, and I was single there. And that was the first time where I was like, holy shit. I'm single and an adult. That's awesome. I have money to do things and I can do whatever I want. Blah blah. And then I was
banging out.
Then I was with Christine again, and here I am though. But I'm back out. This is like my only 2.5 time, right? That counts. Yeah, of being single. I don't know what to expect. Tim, do I have to start using Tinder eventually? Because it seems like that happens all the time.
I wasn't prepared for this topic, Greg. I would have definitely created a step-by-step process of all of this. To be honest, it's a lot simpler than you're making it sound.
Okay.
You don't really need to do anything. Things will just happen. The moment you start trying to make things happen, that's when nothing happens at all. You just need to let it shower over you, and shower it will. The rains of the gods are about to descend upon you, Greg. And I just want you to make sure that you're letting it in. I just want to make sure that you're not pushing things away. Now, what this means is you just need to not cause issue. Did you just take off your socks, Nick?
Yeah, I did.
You're getting real cozy for this one?
I was trying to wait for a break, a very nice break in what you were saying, to eyeball Colin and ask him if he knew what the rains from the gods, what he thought they might smell like. What do you think that smells like, Colin?
So what they smell like, to let you know, is... All I'm telling you, Greg, there's a key hint and tip that I need to let you know here, and that is you do not need to say anything to say a lot. And I mean this, that we've talked so many times about naked pictures, right? I feel like naked pictures are a very
this topic's going an interesting way.
Part of life in 2016 for modern people with modern day phones and shit. I'm sorry, Colin. One day you'll join us.
I have a phone.
I know, but it's like 2 inches big. Like, that's nothing.
I'm not trying to compensate.
Some real shit, you can see some real shit. So here's the thing. Snapchat. You gotta get on Snapchat.
I'm not getting on Snapchat. Come on.
Why not?
Because I'm already on Instagram.
I know. Instagram's good though.
You want to know my big concerns? Do I have to, in order, right? Do I have to try to learn Tinder? Do I have to start using Facebook? Am I going to die alone? Those are trust me. Snapchat is not even on the list.
You're doing it wrong. The answer to those is no. The answer to Snapchat is yes. The answer to Instagram, direct messages, you need to make sure that them shits is turned on. Make sure it's still private so you're not notified for every single time someone messages you. But you need it open. The avenues need to be open. That's what I'm saying. It's not that you're saying yes to everything. It's that you're not saying no to everything. And that's the key. That's the key. I have never responded.
Tim talks in a way I've never heard anyone talk. It's amazing.
I have never responded to a single solitary naked picture that was unsolicitedly sent to me. Is that a word? Unsolicitedly?
Yeah, I think
unsolicited.
So.
But I mean,
unsolicitedly.
I'm getting stuff.
I guess
I'm getting this.
Jesus.
What the fuck?
Just Snapchatted to. I don't know. Do I know her? No, I don't.
This was
Snapchatted to me.
Well, what do I tell in the little icon?
Oh yeah. Did I screenshot the shit out of this? Yes, I did. Do I have any shame? No. And that's what I'm saying. If this shit's unsolicited,
from the neck down,
I didn't ask for it. That's what that means, Greg.
Well then.
So I have no
gotta
shame
get on Snapchat.
in screenshot that shit. Now, this whole thing happening, right?
Yeah.
Does this help you with dating? No.
Yeah.
But this is just proof of how easy it is. Things just happen. This is just thrown at you.
Okay.
And it's up to you to say yes or no. It is your choice, Greg. It is your decision.
They just take
The
it and throw it
reins
at
of the
you.
gods descending upon you.
Am I going to die alone?
No.
No, you're not
You're
going
not
to
gonna
die
die alone. You got Colin.
I'm old. I'm 33 now.
Yeah, first of all, I'm not. I'm here at the very
Oh
least.
my God.
At the very
You
least.
want to talk
You're
about
so
like
fun.
even now how much more devastated I'm going to be when this dog dies. Like that's, oh my God.
I've talked to someone about that recently, actually, about like the real talk about Greg when Portillo passes away.
Was it before or
Not-
after the breakup?
Not going to be a good scene. I talked about. I didn't even talk about it in the context of the breakup because obviously that's going to be way more devastating than breaking up with a girl for you. I'm sorry. So that's like
No, but I
that's
mean,
like that's the ultimate. Maybe penultimate would be breaking up with someone you love, but the ultimate heartbreak would be that dog dying.
Sure, but I mean now. I don't know. Like when I came home, I'm starting to cry right now thinking about it. On
Jesus
top of
God.
everything. Well, I mean, I'm upset because of the topic in general. But I mean, like, oh my God. Like,
I guess, guys, we're gonna have to.
You want to get it over with?
no, I don't.
Well, I just wanna- I
I
just
want
wanna
to go
make sure.
first. The real hope is that I go first.
Let me ask you a
You
question.
bury Porty with me alive.
Oh my God.
Wow.
He'll be happy with
He'll
it.
be fine.
It's like the Egyptian.
Won't
It's like
notice any
Egyptian
difference.
burials.
Let me ask you this question, Greg. If you had your choices of facing Porty's death or having us, Kevin, and we hire someone else to help pull a weekend at Bernie's, and we just fool you into believing that he's still alive for the rest
Kevin's
of your
got like
life,
the little marionette thing bouncing his head around all stupid.
which would you prefer?
I would rather him just be dead.
I really think Portillo's so stagnant that I think we could probably get away with it. Not for long, but probably for about 12 hours.
Oh, I think 12 days.
Like we could probably get away with it. Oh, Portillo's just sleeping under the covers. No big deal. I mean, that's
All
what
we
he
need
always
is
does.
we need to set up something, and I'm sure Kevin can figure this out, that every time the doorbell rings, we just get a sound effect going. That would clear up a lot of things. I
See,
think.
I'm thinking we go the full Monty and we just get a beach house. We have a party and people just keep passing him around. So every time Greg catches a glimpse of him, he's like in someone else's hands. And he's like, "Oh, Porty's having a great
he's fine.
time.
He's enjoying his
Porty's
life.
having a great
Yeah.
time."
All right, so
I
back
guess
to,
that'd be the best way, to usher him out if it's already happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
back to the topic at hand.
Yes.
Greg's not going to die alone. Greg's going to be fine. I've not been more confident in anything that Greg's going to be fine. I think this is good. I think this is going to be good for you. I think this is going to be great. And I think that you can't overthink it. I don't think you need to get on Tinder. You're 33 years old. I don't think you need to do that. I think that you need to focus on, yourself. And then I do agree with Tim that these things tend to happen when they're meaningful, when you don't expect them.
Sure, I know. And that's the whole thing is like my mindset right now, as great as Tim's is not about getting laid, getting in another relationship, yada, yada, yada. It's just like, I don't know. It's still kind of funny, which is the thing. I mean, it's still the business of kind of funny. You know what I mean? Like that's still where we were before. And one of the reasons like why it was time for us to do this, because she's in LA with a great career and I'm in San Francisco with a great career. So what happens next? Like if there's no timetable for it, we're not going to sit here and resent each other one day.
Yeah, jokes aside for all the things I'm saying, and again, to really boil down what I'm saying, it's just shit. It just happens. You know what I
Right,
mean?
yeah, I know,
I'm not
I know.
like none of this is like going to turn into a relationship, and I'm in a very committed relationship. I'm fine.
Yeah.
But like before that, like there was a brief period where I was single, and like I didn't really take advantage of it necessarily in the way that like you think about.
You just went to 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, well, but exactly. I didn't fucking expect that shit to happen. It
Right,
just
right.
fucking happened.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, and here I am, and things are great. But it's like I think that you are like you say you're just around us all the time. That's I think a good thing. I think that it is.
I was going
just
to apologize about it. But
it is just the random times when it is something that's just fresh. And like you saying you're 33, it's like that's perfect because you're the person that you meet. Love and sex stuff right here.
thank
All
you.
we ever talk about is fucking communication. And all this shit. It's the same shit over and over.
Yeah.
But
Open
that
and
shit's so
honest
real.
communication.
But motherfuckers like don't listen to that shit. But that's really what it's about. And really you can't really communicate with somebody unless you know who you are. And I think that's the key thing. It's just when you're 33, hopefully by then you know who you are.
Sure.
And if you meet someone else, they hopefully know who they are. And that's what helped me so much is like I met somebody that knows who the fuck she is and I know who the fuck I am and we like each other. So that's just
a good
like,
point.
all right, cool, we're good. Whereas it's like it's not your high school years
Bullshit
or
games
college
and
years
stuff.
or whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
where it's like trying to figure shit out and you're learning through your experiences to create who you are.
Yeah.
Then it's just more about enhancing who you want to be. And I think that's the key part that you have to look forward to eventually. Who the fuck knows when? But
Sure,
it doesn't
yeah.
matter because you're doing you and you're fucking cool. So keep being cool, Greg.
Yeah, I would say to back that up, like you don't need to put that pressure on yourself right now. You're fresh out of the relationship.
Again, that's not where I'm at.
No, I know. You're a dynamic person. You're in enough dynamic settings and you meet enough people through the nature of what we do that you will eventually find someone who compliments you.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about that at all. Not at all.
Oh yeah, I don't think there's anything to worry about for you at all. I've never been more confident in anything that you're gonna be fine.
No, I know.
The thing that I want for you, I think what's important in your life is balance. You need to find balance. And what I hope is that you, it's going to happen randomly. You're going to be out at a restaurant or a bar one day. You're going to be out with friends. You're going to meet someone. I want someone outside of all of this for you. All of this. That's like what I want.
Outside of the room.
Outside of the room specifically, hopefully.
Sorry,
Kevin.
You're out.
But outside of
Gaming.
YouTube and gaming and all of this stuff. Like I want you to find someone that like brings you this amazing balance in your life that gets you out of this place, that gets you out of that work mentality, that gets you out of gaming, that gets you out of all those kinds of things. I think that's going to make you happy. I think you're going to find, that's my prediction, is that that's what's going to happen, and that you are going to find that this particular matchup, whatever it might be, fits with you quite well, because you're going to be you, she's going to be her, and then you guys will kind of meet somewhere in the middle, and there'll be additive kind of things in both of each other's lives. And I think that's going to be really key for you.
I think it's going to be the exact opposite. I think it's going to be something that is totally in the exact same world of
it's
what
exciting
you do.
predictions.
Yeah, and I think
Play this, not the weird Snapchat naked thing he did, but play this part, future Greg at your wedding.
Yeah, no, this is the
You
thing.
don't know what I'm going to say next.
No, definitely
You
say
might
that.
want to play this at your wedding.
No, I think knowing you, I think that you thrive off the balance of doing you, being Greg Miller all the fucking time. And I think that having somebody that entirely supports that and compliments, I think compliments is the biggest thing there. It's not just about supporting, but it's about like really complimenting, getting you where you want to be and supporting you doing you, because you are such a fucking thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're so defined of what it is that you enjoy doing. And I think that it's the insider perspective. What about you, Nick?
I mean, I can go either way, honestly, as long as
It's
she's
like
Asian.
predictions. Jesus Christ.
No?
Don't play this at the wedding, future Greg.
No, honestly, I mean, that's the thing. The nature of the beast is that you're gonna be attracted to someone that's got some understanding of who you are, most likely, right? Because I think that's just kind of the nature of who you are. That's the nature of who we all are. If you look at, I guess it doesn't necessarily have to be that way, but I feel like I see you with someone who has an understanding of the industry, maybe even works in the industry, but doesn't necessarily work on our side of things.
It's like Shuhei.
If you dated Shu, that would be amazing. But I would move to Japan with you.
Yeah, of
we
course.
Could start Kind of Funny Japan.
How about we just do it? We could just do it and just show up on Shuhei's door.
Yeah, fuck, that'd be amazing. Maybe he's got a daughter. It fulfills both of our requirements.
Just stop right there.
Okay.
Just stop. I know too much about Shuhei's family. Just stop.
All right, let's put it out there. No, I don't know. I mean, that's the thing too. That's the exciting part, is that you have all opportunity ahead of you, right?
Sure.
You can just choose to interact or not interact. You can meet people. You can see what's out there, and then there's a lot out there for you. There's a lot of great people out there.
It's weird. I mean, to think about it, like, just because I still feel like such a kid and so stupid, right? But to be 33 and single, and not that it's a bad thing, but just like I always talk about, like when people are always like, I forgot you were married. And it's like, well, yeah, but I was in the middle of the country, and that's what you do. Oh, we graduated college, we get married, eventually some fucking kids come out and you ruin your life and you hate everything. But like that was the thing, is like, I can't remember, and I know they existed, but I mean, like, growing up or whatever, like my parents' friends were all married. And granted, this isn't a scientific survey of any, matter. But the even better way to think about it, right, is like at this point, right, in my mother's life, I'm 3 years old. Like, what I mean? Like that's
that weird?
That's always
Me too.
weird, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah, my mom had me when she was 30. It's weird.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's crazy to think about how, and granted, this is also like my fucking grandfather stormed the beaches of Normandy, and I fucking sit in this room and talk to kids. It's not like apples to apples anymore, but it is the world evolving and changing, but then being a part of it, where it's like, I don't think that I'm old, but I am old, and like I'm not married, and I'm, I don't want kids, and I'm probably never gonna have kids, and that's
I mean, it's a shitty thing to say also though, but you're a guy and you have a lot, as you age, you have more options.
I'm
than
definitely
women
getting
do.
better looking.
You are.
I like the silver
I
in my
would
hair.
disagree.
I also like that I left this
more
little 5 o'clock.
distinguished, as they say.
Exactly, this 5 o'clock shadow thing I left on today.
And that's the shitty thing to say, is that like, for it gets harder for women as you get older, but for you could date. You have a broad range of ages you can date, and if you've got a lot.
How low can I
options.
go, Nick?
You can go to
Don't answer that question.
18 years old, but I wouldn't recommend it. They're hard to talk to.
I mean, honestly, there's something there where I feel.
Do you remember 9/11?
Oh my god, no! I feel like there's a lot to be said about the different phases of someone's life and being able to look at the people you were with at those times.
Yeah,
and I think that Kind of Funny is obvious next step for you.
Oh, sure.
And I think that, I mean, it has been, but I think that you're a different person than you were working at IGN, you know? And I think that it's really kind of easy to fit into these things where it's like, all right, here's my high school relationship, here's my college relationship, here's my IGN relationship now. And then there is a kind of funny relationship and what that means. You know, I can even look at my relationships time-wise and like, it really does kind of add up where I'm like, cool, I learned a lot as I was learning a lot.
Yeah.
And hopefully, and I assume this is the end. This is my last big career move. You know what I mean? This is forever. So it's like, cool, I want to find a girl that it's forever with, and that kind of just aligns. So I don't know.
I'm pulling for you because I feel like, well, obviously I'm pulling for you, but I'm pulling for you in the sense that I want it to be whoever makes you happy, whatever person might be in whatever field. I hope Tim's wrong. Like, I really, like, in the sense of like, I want to see you with someone random. Like, I want to see what that Greg is like, you know, because I feel like you are you more than the rest of us are us. Like, you live and breathe like. It feeds in the ego thing. I don't mean it to you, but you live and breathe like yourself.
You made up the ego thing. Don't act like it's real when you're trying to be nice.
Well, the ego thing is real. I mean, we can all see it.
We can't see it, but we can certainly feel it.
But
You can smell it.
But I'm interested to see. I've known you for a long time. I've known you for a very long time, and I've lived with you for a long time. We worked together for a long time. I know you very intimately, not in a dirty way. But I know you. I'm going to say I probably know you better than pretty much anyone, and I am interested in the dynamic of Greg Miller when Greg Miller doesn't exist in this world all the time anymore. And like, I think that's going to be good for you. I really do. I really just do. Because you do have other interests. You do have other things that you like. You do have other things that have nothing to do with nerd culture that you can explore. And like, what is it like when Greg like does other things and then comes back to do these things? Yeah. Will he be better? Will he be happier? Will he like, you know, we all often talk about how you really just don't burn out at all. But I would love to see you have like an escape hatch, you know, and then be able to come back fresh and stuff like that. So I think it's more likely than not that what Tim says is true because of the circles that we run in. But I also think that it's my hope is that, you know, you're happy regardless, but my hope is that you just date some school teacher or something like that. And like you just see what that's like, you know, like you just don't. She has her own friends. Yeah. You're you're embed yourself with them a little bit. You learn a little bit about from them. You don't exist in this world anymore. I think that's totally fantastic. You know, as sexual and dirty as everyone's trying to make everything I say. I really do.
Very dirty.
Yeah. But I think that kind of balance I think is going to be essential for you, and I think that's where you find like this long lasting love in this marriage, in this relationship forever. Is someone that like that compliments you, but I find it hard to be complimented by someone who would be all up in my business all the time. So that's what I'm saying is like, I think that's going to be really key for you. And that's my hope for you.
Do you ever find it alarming, Colin, how how it's like when a group of girls are together, their periods will sync up, that like our lives are in this weird sync where like, remember we both broke up with our girlfriends and moved in together. Then we both got together with those girlfriends while we were together. Then we both broke up with those girlfriends now. Now you're ahead of the curve now. You've already got a new girlfriend. Right. But it's very bizarre, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, like you know, and I guess that's the thing was with Erin specifically. Like, Erin's brought me a lot of like, I don't know, good feelings in my life in terms of like, I just feel like she, like, it was talking about finding someone that understands you, right? That's what Tim was saying. Find someone that understands you. Erin knows me from so long ago that she really knows me before any of this happened, before any of IGN happened, before any of this kind of stuff happened. So she knows me at like that more embryonic state where it's like, Colin at 18, you know, as opposed to, I don't mean embryonic as like coming out of the womb. I mean like embryonic is like where I'm figuring myself out, I'm learning who I am and all that kind of stuff. I think that's part of our really close connection is that like we just know each other really well from a long time ago and have known each other all these years and grown together. And so I feel like that's brought a lot of balance into my life where I'm like, I got to get out of here for a little while. I got to go do something else. I'm going to go outside and go to the beach. I'm going to like walk the dog or just like go do something else as opposed, because if it was just me and someone like me, then I would just play games all day, or I would just like sit in front of the TV or whatever. I'm like, I got to get the fuck out of here. Like, and it makes me more like, I'll tell you, and you guys have seen the change since I started dating Erin, that like, I'm like kind of like more in it now. I'm more excited. I wake up with a little bit more of a pep in my step. I know it's hard to tell because I'm Colin, so I'm still Colin. But you know, I feel like there's like a lot more positivity in my life because I've just found some sort of complementary balance in my life that gets me out of this world that otherwise I would always exist in because it's too hard for me to get out of it. You know, so like, so I think there's something to be said about that. And I think there's something really positive about that. And I think that I have an additive kind of connection with Erin as well in the same sense where like I'm introducing her more of our kind of stuff and she's getting more into those kinds of things. So I think that I'm interested to see what happens if you just meet Jane Doe that does random job.
I like the school teacher thing.
Yeah, like right, like
Hot, just like a hot Asian school teacher, right? We can all agree she's going to be Asian, right?
What the hell? Why are you projecting everything onto me?
I gotta live vicariously through you.
This is the one
I put a
downside of
ring
it.
on me.
This is the one downside of
Yeah.
it. Of all the shit,
Can't wait for you to get married again.
all
Bachelor
the
party.
shit
Bachelor party.
Nick and I gave Tim when he was
I was
single,
about-
like
yeah.
VidCons and shit,
No.
like every fucking
Good luck,
time
Greg.
now.
Every
Good
time-
luck. Every single girl, every single one. Some guys too. Who cares?
Yeah.
Anything that's there is going to be just presented to you on a silver platter.
We're
and
gonna
you're
try
just
to
going to have
like
to
a virgin of volcano. We're gonna try to just throw them into you. You know what I mean?
No, Nikki, no.
I like that. That's a good analogy.
Thank you. And also, it's just don't expect me and Kevin to be in the closet for the first 3 to 4 times. Captain Pinky comes out.
Jesus Christ, Nick.
Is that what you call him? What do you call him?
My dick?
Portillo 2?
Oh, poor
Barely existing. These are. I think we can all agree though. These are exciting times.
These are exciting times.
And I feel like these are going to turn into bold times.
great topics.
As a man who's been married for coming up on 4 years, thank you. I need this. I need for one of you to be single again. I need it. I've never felt so alive as this conversation right now. I can literally feel wind just hitting my hair and
My
face.
favorite was there was some conversation we had, and it was completely in jest, but there was some conversation we had a long time ago, and it was some hypothetical that if like, maybe Colin, one of you weren't in a relationship, but it was like one of those things like, what if we all broke up with our girlfriend? Like we had that conversation. And Nick was like, I would divorce my wife, but she'd understand.
She totally would. And my wife, she'd be like, this is like the perfect storm of happiness. On a real note, though, I will mirror Colin's sentiment as well, because my wife is completely opposite of me. But that's great because we find common ground when we need to find common ground.
Yeah.
And then her sort of opposing views on things or her opposing likes really kind of help broaden my horizons a little bit. So like I know this city more. I have way more life experiences because I'm with her.
Sure.
Like I know how to ski. I would never have learned how to ski. I wouldn't even go to the fucking mountains. It's cold up there. Snow.
She dragged you up there.
Yeah, we have family up there and she knows how to ski. So it's just things like that where I think is be open to. I'm not saying you have to, but it's always great because like, like Tim and Gia have very like, they have some things they like together, but Gia's very different than you.
She is very different.
And I think
but I think in
she's
the
small.
core, she is very small.
She's tiny.
She's very
Tight.
tiny. But yeah, no, I think that in the core ways we are very similar, like in
Yeah.
the sense of like what we like to do. We like to talk.
Yeah.
That's all we like to do.
Right,
So we
but
sit
those
there
things, are fundamental because I would agree with you with Aaron being totally outside of nerd culture. I've said in the past, like we both love our families, we both like have good friends, we both like to talk, we like to eat good food and drink. Like those are the kinds of things, the core kind of things. Like you would say, like your almost core constituency in terms of like the things that are most important to you. But
I would
agree-
say that if I was Colin.
But I agree in the sense, but I agree in the sense that the old adage is true. Like opposites attract. That's not like something that someone just made up one day. It is true.
True.
Like it is absolutely true. And
I think it can be true. I think that's the thing. I think that it's a person by person basis, and I'm just like, what I personally think about what I imagine Greg needs isn't necessarily that, just to boost his agenda. But again, I could be wrong, but I'm just thinking like, I know what I need. I know I have an idea of what you need and what we all need just because I know you guys. But I just think I feel like Greg doesn't need the opposite. He needs
We'll see.
more. We'll see.
we will see.
And I don't think that it's one or the other. I do think that like, both are good. Both have like valid things. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure that there's other people out there that I could be with that I would be happy with. You know what I mean? I'm very happy with what I have. I'm blown away, and I can't imagine anything being better than this. Having said that, though, it's like I don't know.
What if she's a little bit taller?
That's done.
What if she was a baller?
If she was a baller, then that'd be
God
good.
damn it, you beat
Yeah.
me to it.
Yeah, it's the idea. I think is just. I think having a little bit of friction is actually good. You just don't want too much friction. You don't want to. I don't want like. I think there's such a thing as too easy, too much gliding. That makes people complacent. That makes people take each other for granted and do all those kinds of things. So I think there's such a thing as too easy, and I think there's such a thing as too hard. And then I think that like in the middle is probably exactly where you want to be. And that often means that like I do think that like if you want, like we were talking about in a previous topic, like I need a smart girl. Like I need someone who's smart. That can be, smart in any different way, but you need to have like a brain in your head. That's important. But that doesn't mean that you have to have a brain in your head about politics, or like a brain in your head about whatever. It just means like, are you smart? Hold a conversation. Are you interested in things?
Right.
So I think like you can kind of interpret these things in different ways. And I think Greg will find that he'll find. The thing is that Greg's gonna be fine. Like I'm not. I'm super interested to see like where this ends up. I think you're gonna be totally fine.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna be fine quicker
Probably
than you think.
won't die alone.
No, because I'll
you might
probably
die
always
alone.
live with you, and that's
But
the
you'll
sad
go
thing.
through 5-6 people before that.
Oh my God.
I might die alone. There's no guarantee that my relationship will work or his relationship, any of our relationships will work. You can't really look that far ahead. You really can only look like the next 5-10 years ahead. You can't really be like, where am I going to be when I'm 80? Shit in my pants in my recliner.
I gotta hope I'm
don't know.
dead by then.
To Nick's point, in the
I hope
words
I'm alive.
in the
I just
words
can't
of
wait to shit
bad
my pants.
religion,
Here we go.
all promises become a lie. All that's benign corrupts in time.
I do say
So
that.
so you have to just
That is a classic Nickism.
so you have to just be prepared for any contingency.
Yeah.
All options are on the table.
All options. This
Japanese,
table.
Chinese,
Open
Korean.
the DMs.
Why?
Greg. Open
Why?
them DMs.
Doesn't matter.
Why are you doing
I'm
this?
just saying any contingency. To Colin's point. Vietnamese, Filipino.
With an F or
So, anyways,
PH.
I'm single, ladies and gentlemen. Don't make a big deal about it.
Yo, follow him on Snapchat.
I'm sure you won't make, I'm sure none of you
Follow
will
him
make
on
a big deal.
Snapchat.
Follow him. I need to see
Snapchat.
those
Slide
pictures
into the
too.
DMs.
Nick,
I only have the one Snapchat, and it's the kind of funny account that I don't know how to use.
doesn't matter.
That's
fine.
totally
I'm not
fine.
using
We can all share that.